So, hello. Yesterday, I was a guest speaker at Half6 talk show that the theater school hosts every Tuesday, and every week they have a different subject.
Sorry. It's in touch, and I'm considering whether I want to sit here and pretend that I can read Dutch or. Oh, yeah. Interesting.
Anyway, Half6, the talk show that the theater school hosts every Tuesday, and they transform the hall of the theater school into an auditorium and invite guest speakers to come to the school and speak to the students directly. The subject varies every week, and this week subject was the relation between the cultural and the political climate in Holland. This is very important because of all the budget cuts that have been going on in Holland, and they will affect future artists. But it's not only in Holland; it's actually everywhere around the world. The main discussion is, why is art important? Why does art need money? And I'm gonna try to give something that I find very clear and evident for why art is important, and that is the canal houses here in Amsterdam. Because, first and foremost, the canal houses were places of business. That's why they're so big, relatively. The living quarters were added later, so the owners of the business could stay close to where the action was. So in the beginning, there were actually way more canal factories than canal houses. To make a clear distinction between the different factories, they would personalize the front of the building, the facade of the building. That way, the general public could see what was going on inside at once. The more personal and imaginative the buildings became, the more successful the business seemed. So, to the businessman, it was actually beneficial to give the designers or artists more freedom and material to do what it is they wanted to do because they knew it would make the business look good. Because the artists got more freedom and to express themselves, the buildings became more expressive and more interesting, and the people would actually recognize the buildings from stories without knowing what was going on inside. Some of the buildings became so popular and so impressive that a lot of other people copied the style of the Amsterdam artist, and that's why some cities like Copenhagen, for instance, or St. Petersburg look so much like Amsterdam at times because the designers were heavily
Influence?
the
Just talk like a normal conversation.
and that's why cities like Copenhagen and St. Petersburg look so much like Amsterdam because they were inspired by the artists who designed the businesses. Businesses? The businesses. Businesses.
Yes, businesses.
Okay. Nowadays, the canal houses are the ultimate representation of Amsterdam, but not because of the businesses they were, but because of the artwork that is still there. When you see a picture of the city of Amsterdam, it looks amazing, but that has started out as a form of expression by those artists so long ago. This would not have been possible to make the city like Amsterdam look like it does now if the designers and the artists from back then didn't get the financial aid they needed because there was no money in just the facade. They needed to be supported. And it's still there as Amsterdam. Nowadays, it's the businessmen who decide that we should stop giving money to the arts while sitting in their office in the canal houses. I'll just let you think about that. Yeah. Doei.